Okay, guys, so there's a lot of new energies in the air. There's been an energetic blast of light that has just come up. There's been an intense energy shift for the better and for the positive here in the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine collective. I'm getting that a lot of the Ascended Masters are here, and it's unprecedented times. We're here and we're going to the 5D. So for everyone who's here right now, congratulations. We are really ascending here. And so with that being said, the Divine Masculine has been going through a lot of shifts and changes. I'm getting that a lot of Divine Masculines had a no contact or have not been in contact with you guys for whatever reason. And I feel like the energies obviously got really, really intense the last couple of weeks leading up until yesterday. I feel like the energies really shifted yesterday around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is where I'm at. And a lot of the energies here have really had the Divine Masculine. A lot of Divine Masculines here establish a no contact situation, or you guys have not been in communication for whatever reason. And a lot of the guys, I'm getting that it was almost recent, within maybe the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. But they're reaching back out, and they've been really introspecting during this time, as it was some of the darkest or most intense energies leading up until yesterday or the new moon in that we're coming into right now. And so a lot of Divine Masculines have been really, really in their contemplating, and they've realized where their heart is, and that is with the Divine Feminine. With that being said, this will be a channel reading. I will use all of the cards of confirmation and for really you guys to see what is going on in the collective. But with that being said, let me be a clear channel, a clear guide for the collective consciousness of the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine and any divine union here as we're moving into the 5D. Oh my God, a lot wants to come out, guys. There's so much going on. As we move into the 5D, a lot of paradigms are shifting. And so it's almost like we're all here, and Source, the divine, the highest power, doesn't even know how this is all going to play out. The energies are changing dramatically from moment to moment, from day to day. So it's almost like these readings are almost like a tone of what is coming up maybe for the week, for today, but everything is changing so rapidly in this energy. So it's important to stay positive and stay in our power and to really know what our goals are. With that being said, the star came out along with peace. And so a lot of the Divine Feminine, I'm getting here that, it's really time to embrace your inner child and to rekindle relationships that maybe you were not in good standing with, or maybe you needed to overcome or heal from, to really reach out to a lot of those people. And it's really time to release the past here with the Peace card. And as I was saying that these cards flow out, we're talking about the 5D. So as we go into this new sphere of consciousness and we become really connected with the all and with the one, I'm getting that it's in time to really embrace our inner child, because we need to be the purest versions of ourselves as we come into union with our twin and our divine counterpart, whether that is a masculine or feminine or any kind of divine union. And it's time to really let go of the past as we go into this new energy, both because of the new energy in the new moon cycle, as well as the 5D ascension process that we're all going through right now. There was, like I said, a burst of a lot of light energy that really, really came out here. And so that being said, there is a dream coming true here with the star coming out here as the tone as we go into the 5D for this coming week. And really, I want to say these next 3 months, and really to believe in yourself. And it is the end of a difficult situation. So that is the tone as we ascend into the 5D. And I think that is a great news for all. So with that being said, those are the cards I was guided to pull from this deck. I was actually going to pull from the Moonology deck, which I'm sure most of you guys are very, very familiar from. But I was guided to pull from that one, and I think it is a very, very clear message. So with that being said, what is the current energy here? There's going to be an energy regarding the Divine Masculine. What is currently in their mind? What is currently in their heart? What are they thinking about right now? What is there anything the Divine Masculine wants to currently communicate? And so they're really And so we got here the Six of Discs, and so I'm getting that they're really starting to find the generosity within. It's almost like a lot of them have been very clammed up in their emotional states. They've been very introspective here with the moon, and now they're being more generous, not just financially necessarily, or maybe even not even financially at all, but rather with their words and the way they want to communicate and reach out to their divine feminine. And so I'm getting that they're being almost more generous here with words. So oh, too many cards. But they're really they're reaching out, and so this card just flipped out. And so yes, exactly. So we got the Sun card. So as we go into the 5D and into the Star Ascension energy, I'm getting that they have been illuminated with the Sun. So is the most positive card of the deck, and its inverse is actually the reverse is actually narcissism. So they're shedding that 3D paradigm of self, and that's really what's coming through for me in this card. It's like their inner child is shining from within, so without, us above, so below, and they are clear that the energy of the divine feminine is the energy that they want to be with, and so they really want to move towards her, and they're illuminated with the fact that that is their twin, that is their divine counterpart, that is their heart, that is where their happiness is. And they've been in a lot of Seven of Swords energy, and that is almost where they've been up until this new moon cycle, and there's been almost stagnation. It was like they were resisting, or they have been resisting that connection. Here you see almost in this Seven of Swords, you see everyone pointing to this masculine figure, and he being the only one pointing against here. So he's got essentially, and what I'm getting from this is that they've almost had every sign synchronicity. They've had a lot of things really showing them where their heart and where their focus needs to be, but they've been so stuck in their narrative and then the 3D paradigm cycles that they've been, and this came out under the sun, that they've been resisting it, but it's almost like they were the only ones resisting. Everyone else could almost see it. And I'm getting something about the karmic. I'm getting that all the sign synchronicities were there, pointing him that the divine masculine, his heart and soul, was the divine feminine. But I'm getting that he was rejecting it, and it has something to do with the the karmic, for those that are in karmic situations. And even if that means so karmic situations is wanted to come out. So dark night of the soul, guys. So they have been in the dark night of the soul energy here with the moon in soul. As I was saying, that they've been resisting the connection. So this is just confirmation here that they've been clear with who the divine feminine's been for a while, but they were going through a dark night of the soul, and it's almost like they wanted to fight it. And that is a clarification that I'm getting here regarding this card and what they're fighting against, is that they were going through the dark night of the soul, and they almost wanted to blame the divine feminine. I'm getting that a lot of them really wanted to believe that if they just got rid or cut out the divine feminine, or they just cut communication, whether it's you or your divine counterpart, either one, and the communication was just cut, those problems are just going to go away. And so that's why they were single-handedly here resisting that communication. But they realize that a lot of them that haven't been in communication, especially lately, they're realizing that a lot of those challenges are actually getting worse, because the challenge was not the divine feminine. The challenge was actually within. And so I'm getting that, oh, too many parts, but I'm getting that the challenge within, and I'm getting guided to pull from this more classic deck. The resistance has just been really in their head, and and they're realizing in the dark night of the soul that the connection wasn't the divine feminine, it was within. And for a lot of them, I'm also getting that, for a lot of them, their karmic is themselves, their ego here, the inverse of the narcissist. And so, right, so as I was saying, the inverse of the narcissist and the ego here, we got the Five of Swords. So very much, they can no longer fight the connection. And so here you obviously see the divine masculine collecting his swords, but two, I'm seeing here that two fell out regarding and I'm getting that the two walking away here, one of them is almost the karmic, that they're realizing that, that no longer serves him, and he's only keeping the swords here that still serve him, and letting go of anything that doesn't. So with that being said, what is the current energy that we can be expecting for the divine masculine regarding actually so here we got the Two of Cups, the Princess of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So they've been struggling here. Obviously, we get the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. They've been going back and forth. So something that they've been very clear about is where their heart is, and they're very clear about the loving connection, and they want to sprint towards the Princess of Wands. They know that the fiery passion, the divine feminine really being in the power, that's where they want to go. But this juxtaposition here with the Wands and the Swords, it's like their heart is pulling them, the 5D is pulling them, but they're so stuck in their mental space, in their head space. But I'm getting that that's no longer being the case. So can we get a little bit more confirmation regarding the, that's so many cards, regarding what it is that they are currently in the struggle? What are they currently struggling with? And we got here their inner child. So we started this reading here seeing how the inner child was the theme of it all, right? When you think about a divine union, it is the higher self, the inner child of the divine masculine and divine feminine coming into union together. So their inner child is, as we're also into the 5D, is very clear with what the twin flame connection is, with what the union is, but they've been trying to, they're having a hard time connecting with self. And I'm getting to a lot of divine masculines, and I'm going to pull from this one. A lot of divine masculines, you guys, I'm being guided to say that the divine masculine's journey is obviously an inverse of the divine feminine's journey. The divine feminine is realizing that they can achieve and have it all within self without any exterior factor or source. They can do it on their own without the divine masculine. And inversely, that the journey here for the divine masculine is realizing that is their best served with their divine feminine. But they've been very much in their headspace here, and they've been resisting their inner child. So that was too many cards, but they've been resisting their inner child really coming to contact with the head space, and that's what I'm getting for a lot of them. The star came out again, guys. So as we see the star, the high priestess, and the alchemy card. So again, they are, as we are moving into this 5D energy, into this new frequency of oneness, they can no longer ignore their inner child, and it's moving towards the high priestess. The inner child is merging with the higher self and pushing them towards the ascension with the release of all these new spark and stars and this positive energy. They can no longer ignore it, and the things that were holding them back in the past is no longer holding them back. Here we see two sides of the same story, the dichotomy between mind and really ego, if we're going to be honest, between ego and higher self. But what was ruling, and what I'm getting here, what was ruling them so much in that headspace is now being overcome by the high priestess, the higher self, the inner child, and moving into a 5D journey. So what is the energy? What does the divine masculine want to communicate right now to the divine feminine? I'm getting that there's something the divine masculine wants to say about the divine feminine in this moment. If he could reach out to the divine feminine right now, what would he want? Okay, what would he want to say? So these cards flipped out. Is that all that flipped out? And this one flipped. So what I'm getting here is, so here's the resurrection card, and is that they've been withdrawn because they want to be very, very diligent in the journey here, and they really want to have all their their I's dotted and their T's crossed, but they're really here. And if you see here, we got resurrection here in confirmation, and you can see here that it's practically the same. It's the ending of the old cycle. It is the ending of this heavy, dark energy that we were just in, and they are resurging as I'm getting that they're resurging as the Hierophant. They're really coming into that power. It can no longer be ignored. And we got here the Four of Cups. So they're really actually coming. They're coming successful here in realizing that they can have union and still keep the life they had. There is some shedding that's happening, and I'm getting that there's a lot that is falling apart. But even as they're having their tower moments in right now as we speak, I'm getting that they're not as intense as they thought they would be, and they are still keeping a lot of their Four of Cups. They're still keeping a lot of the stability. It is not as terrible as we saw coming. So here we got the King of Michael for clarification, and it's principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. Their life is not falling apart the way they thought it would, and they're realizing that they are stronger. And I'm getting that there's a lot. So my guys are telling me that there's a lot of men who are having their quote unquote tower moments. A lot of them are having their business maybe not be as successful, maybe even falling apart, but they're realizing that they are still stronger, and they're finding the silver lining in the tower moments that a lot of them have had. I'm getting a lot of them from their business, maybe their income. They're not making what they used to make, or maybe they had a financial setback that they thought was correlated to the divine feminine, but they're realizing that it almost doesn't matter to them, and they are going to still be in their divine masculine power. And they're almost finding through their tower moment, I'm getting a lot of them, that they are actually still strong. Their identity wasn't as shaken as they thought it would be. They're finding their strength. I'm getting that they're finding their resurrection without crucifixion for a lot of the divine masculine. And so wisdom and objectivity is important to them now. A situation that calls for honest and open communication is calling to them. Stay in integrity. So that's literally what I've been saying. That's confirmation of what we've been talking about here. They're realizing that their integrity and what was principled and ambitious and respected to them is important, but the situation that is calling to them now is one of open and honest communication. And I'm getting that is towards the divine feminine. So is there anything that the divine feminine can do, a meditative or otherwise, to help the divine masculine really come into that power and really move forward? So here we got actually very clear. So we got here the 10 of Gabriel. So ask your angels for helpful people to lighten the load of your life, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. So what I'm getting here is that a lot of the divine feminines really need to take a moment to maybe pause and ask your angels and helpful people and tell them that maybe you've been emotionally overwhelmed, but you're really coming into your power, and to be in touch with your angels. At the bottom of the deck here, I'm also getting here is new beginnings at the bottom of the deck. So again, is the theme of this whole reading. There's an entirely new energy, an entirely new beginning, and we need to stay in our power and our positivity, and we need to be in line and in tune with the higher beings, the higher dimensional beings, the higher vibrations, and really stay in that power as we go into these new beginnings. Because what we do now is extraordinarily crucial. Tomorrow is an enormous twin flame day. I will probably do another reading tomorrow for clarification as to what the divine feminine or masculine, whatever you resonate with, can do during this time. But there is a new beginning, and it's time to let go of the past, and that is the energy here that is really transcending. And I'm really getting a lot of strong positive. It's almost like every deck wants to talk to me right now. There's a lot of strong positive vibrations, and there's a lot of divine masculine. There's something that here wants to be said about something they want to. I'm being guided to pull from this deck because there's something that they want to communicate that was holding them back, that maybe they didn't reach out to divine viewer here watching regarding their karmic, and it's something that they want to communicate to us now regarding clarity as to why they haven't reached out in direct correlation with the karmic. So what is the divine masculine wants to say, oh my god, regarding the karmic connection? So we got here change and destiny. So I'm being guided to read directly from the book for the change card. So I am going to read it exactly from the book because that's what I'm being guided to do right here for the change card. So what they want to say is, and I'm being guided for the so shift cycles, things brought out into the open, changes, perhaps radical transformation. sometimes through crisis, but for the best. Divergence of paths, getting hit by a curveball when challenges run up, relationships that deepen, transform, or end. Feeling disoriented, not being sure of having made the correct choice. Big purchases, a new home, or change of residence, relations to a plan or goal. Endings, exposure, sacrificing things and giving up old habits. Sudden awareness or alignment. Possible medical operations, changes in eyeglass and contact lens prescriptions, strange puzzling dreams, getting and receiving messages of a divine nature, taking a calm approach, and sudden development. So exactly that is what I'm saying. It's exactly the clarification. It is that they've been hit by a curveball here with this relationship, and I'm getting the relationship that's deepening here is a relationship that they've had, that connection, the family they've had with the divine feminine, and that is what's deepening. And they have a lot of financial ties. I'm getting a lot of them with a lot of their karmics, and that has been very intense for them. And it's almost been very almost like 801 energy, like that. The change has been happening so radically and so fast, faster than their mind can even, they've been used to analyzing and really overthinking a lot of these things in a lot of situations. They have not been able to do that. So they've just been almost like electrocuted. I wasn't gonna say frozen, but like the opposite. They've been so overwhelmed with all of these energies, all of these emotions, but they're really now moving towards their destiny. And they've been in shock, and they've been very overwhelmed energetically, but they know that this is the right thing for the right thing for them. And that's why they haven't been in communication, because there's just been so many contacts, prescription, in emotions, and just with the divine feminine, that intensity. And I'm getting the karmic also realizing that the heart is not with her, and almost, what is the current energy of the karmic? A lot of the karmics have walked out. I'm getting that very clearly to me, cards. I'm getting that very clearly, but what is the current energy for those that still have the remaining resonance of the karmic? So, so we got the Prince of Cups that flew out, and I'm getting that a lot of them are still just pouring out their emotions, and they're wanting to hold on. But again, we got the Sun card again, so it's almost like the divine, the karmics are almost trying to play the role of the divine feminine. They're using the very last straws, anything they can hold on to. As you see here, there's the Prince of Cups, and in this depiction, she's almost, her things are falling all around her, and she's trying to hold on. And what I'm getting here is they're seeing that the connection is to the divine feminine. They're seeing that they've been trying to almost duplicate the energy of the divine feminine for this collective specifically. A lot of the viewers think of resonates, but they've been almost trying to mimic the energy of the divine feminine, but they're realizing that they have not been able to do that, and it's not successful, it's not working. And the divine masculine has been illuminated. Again, this is the second Sun card and the second Star card that's come out. The divine masculine is illuminated with the fact that where their heart and mind is, they know it's the divine feminine, and they don't care. The fears can no longer hold them back. And I'm being guided to pull from this deck regarding the fears that maybe were holding them back, or things that are letting go. And so a lot of, so the wheel. So the Wheel of Fortune, obviously. And so it's this spinning energy. So it's a rapid shift that we were talking about that is basically going in and out, coming back and forth. And it's really, really becoming overwhelming, but they can no longer hold it back. The energy is shifting so much. And as we're going into this burst of energy that has come out through the 5D, as we go into the new human portal, the wheel is changing rapidly, but it's changing for the positive and new beginnings. Again, we got a confirmation on new beginnings for the second time are coming. And the energies that were holding them back on the past and things that were no longer serving them, regarding whether it is the karmic connection or the work things, the fears that they were holding on to, it's gone. It's over. And there's maybe some resonance of it, but the new beginnings they're attuned to, they're going through the feminine, they're going to reach out, they're clear in their path, they're clear in their journey, they're clear that they want to be with her. It's letting go of the final things, the final attachments. But as we see here in the specific card, it also says the end of delays and a change in direction that offers happiness is here for them. You guys, you cannot make this up. This is exactly what we've been talking about this entire reading. That is the new energy. that there is so much that wants to be communicated right now. It's almost like they want to pour all of their emotions out through me, or through, you know, a lot of the readers in the channels right now, because all of the emotions they've been feeling towards divine feminine that they thought was in their head, or you know, a lot of the energies they were feeling that were very intense that they thought was because of the divine feminine, and they almost felt like if they cut the divine feminine out, they would be better. But they realize that that's not the case. They're realizing that, you know, as a lot of the feminines have been out of contact, that's all they can think about. And their life has taken the natural course it was taking, a lot of tower moments, but they're realizing that tower moments are not correlated to the divine feminine. And if they're going to go through the tower moments, they're realizing, a lot of them, that what's going to happen, the balancing here, the balancing and the resurrection is going to happen mercifully or not. And so they're realizing that they might as well have a hand in it as they go to the divine feminine, and at least navigate the energy. They might be overwhelmed, but at least work with the collective, work with the divine. They're becoming more spiritually attuned than not. And so they're at peace here in the new beginnings. And the fears that were holding them back before, a lot of the anxiety and intensity that they were feeling, because they were feeling very anxious and intense the last couple of weeks, it's no longer on them. They've been released from a lot of that burden. And even though there's still like a resonance of a lot of those things, and there's resonance of a lot of that energy, and maybe the quote unquote tower moments in their work sphere. And I'm getting there's some tower moments that are coming maybe to them in the work sphere. They're still standing, they're still strong, and they're still, their identity has not fundamentally changed anything. And yeah, so we're getting here the angel of vertice, which really speaks to the roots of their heart that just is really growing. It's ascending. It's growing around them. They're in their green, vibrant energy. They're in touch below as they are above, as above, so below, as within, so without. They have a renewed, almost like a second life, a second wind of the energy that they've been feeling. So, geez, there's so much that they want to say. So why not reach out to the divine feminine right now? Why what's stopping the divine masculine from just actually, there's so much that the collective wants to communicate. Why not just reach out in the moment? Divine Lord, guides, what's holding them back from reaching out right now? There's obviously a lot that wants to be communicated. So solutions, guys. Solutions is kind of, they almost, again, a lot of the divine masculines want to have all their ducks in a row before they reach the divine feminine, because they're still in that masculine energy. They're still in that 3D energy. They still feel like they need to have everything figured out. I'm also getting that for a lot of the divine masculines, they're realizing that when they come to the divine feminine, they want no more BS left. So again, we said that they've been dealing with a lot of the resonance. As we go into the new energy, they're dealing with a lot of the energies that have been carrying through. And even though they're not burned by it, they almost feel like they want to tie up those loose ends. And success is coming that comes from objective and compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So yeah, they're trying to figure out the line between what is divine will and what is free will, even in their divine masculine self. Because you have to remember, we are in our divine, especially this collective, we are on our divine empress energy. We're in our priestess energy. They're trying to be the Hierophant, but right now they're trying to catch up with being the emperor, let alone the Hierophant. So we almost have to respect and honor the progress that they've made. And again, a lot of the divine masculines are trying to rush into their emperor energy. The Hierophant is still a work in progress. Again, time space is collapsing as we know it. Time frames are shifting. Time is just collapsing on each other. But yet still, guys, they're trying to make a decision, and they're going to take action. And so there's a card that just flew out regarding why they're, an extension of why they're communicating. It is time for them to decide and be clear on what they want. So again, they're going and sprinting towards their emperor energy. They know they have the emperor with or without these 3 attachments that they thought defined them. In the same respect, the Hierophant is still a couple of revelations away. Again, there's been a lot of energy that's come out regarding just the universe and just these positive energy light photons that came out the last 48 hours. But they're realizing that they're making a decision and they need to detoxify of these negative energies, these things that don't serve them anymore. And here on the bottom of the deck, I'm getting the strength card. So they're finding the strength that they're finding the line between self-confidence and forgiveness. They're finding that line of you can be in your power, you can be a spiritual being having a human experience and not have all of the answers as you believe to have them. They're coming to clarity also as we speak right now, as we speak. They're coming to clarity with, they are aware, they're coming to clarity with, they can only understand certain things from their own level of perception. They're coming at peace with the fact that they don't need to have all the answers, but they just need to be in their power and in their truth and in their love and in their light, and they need to honor the energy of the heart, and they need to honor the connection to the divine feminine, and they need to sprint at least towards that. They cannot waste any more time. And if anything, I'm getting the energy that a lot of them have felt like they've been wasting time. I realized that these two cards were flipped just now. So the angel of death. So again, it's the dying of the old paradigms. It's the dying of the 3D attachments, and because the 3D attachment left them empty here. And this is what this card says: the null and void that they've been feeling. A lot of them have been feeling this adrenaline, this rush of overwhelming of emotions, anticipation, anxiety, anger, confusion, all these emotions, but they were empty inside. So it's almost like these intense emotions only exist in their head, and their anxiety and their sacral chakra. They were nervous, they were confused, they were freaking out. They're realizing that that wasn't healthy. And even if they had, money or the karmic or the perfect 3D life, or their life falling apart inversely for a lot of them, there is not like they were, at least it could have been, what I'm getting is that a lot of them are realizing that at least it could have been with their divine feminine or their loved ones and still go through this. It's almost like there wasn't, the separation did nothing to help the situation, and having no contact did nothing to help them at all. And so in that they were still empty, whether their life was falling apart or extraordinarily successful, they were empty either way. And so it's a death card. So they're letting that go. For better or worse, they're letting go of the karmic, the attachments, and they're feeling that time they were wasting not being with the divine feminine, there was no point, because what's happening, the balancing is happening with or without their consent. So they might as well, like I said, have a part of it. So there's a lot of messages coming through. I'm being guided to draw this from the Kabbalah meditation deck regarding what the divine feminine can do. There's so much power in these words, guys. And I'm even getting lightheaded as I'm shuffling this. There's so much power in these prayers from the Kabbalah. And this is from the 72 Words of God. So the card that just flipped out is called the Big Picture. And the meditation is, this name arises in my awareness of long-term effects of my actions. I gain the ability to see spiritual challenges in every moment before they become the foundation of chaos and crisis. So the meditation here to be in our power and to be aware of our actions. I'm getting that a lot of divine feminines need to be very conscious of what we say, what we think. I'm getting cutting old cords that don't serve us. And the meditation is Alev Nun Yud, if you want to see this up close. And this is from, again, the Kabbalah. So it's about, so for the divine feminine, what I'm getting here is that what we can do right now to assist the masculine, and as we ascend, as we're in our power, and as we rise in frequency and ascension, so does the masculine, because you are our divine counterpart. If your twin flames are the inverse of the same soul, the same resonance. So raising our awareness now for us as to what our actions imply. And I'm getting that for the divine feminine, also our feelings, and distinguishing between our feelings and our emotions and where they're coming from, and acknowledging if they're negative and not for the greater good, acknowledging and releasing them, and becoming aware of the effects of the actions. And I'm getting for the divine feminine, as we're moving to the 5D, also what we think, and letting go of negative thoughts and being mindful, because us being in our power and aware of our actions and a clear channel of positivity and what we want the connection to be and look like is going to, oh my God, too many cards, is going to assist the divine masculine in this journey. So these cards, this is from the Kabbalah, and these cards are really powerful in meditation and really helping the ascension process. So I'm gonna read these because, like I said, they are powerful and they just flew out. So here we got angelic influences, guys. So angelic influences, and the meditation name is Hey Zane You. And using this name, I can now access the network of angels. I can remove negative angels and their chaotic influences in my life, and and ignite support and assistance for positive angels. Exactly what we were just saying. This is exactly confirmation on literally what I just said, which is only being attuned to the higher dimensions. We're moving into the 5D. We are leading the divine masculines or divine counterparts into being in their power as the Hierophant, as the high priest, whatever resonates with you. We are the leaders of that. We need to be in that frequency. We need to be in that mind space, and we need to be very careful of the thoughts we let in. We are not the thoughts that come through, and we need to acknowledge anything that is not for the greater good of all ourselves in the union. We need to release them and let them go. If that happens, it just you can look at this card or just Alev Noon Yud, and or Hey Sign Yud, and you can just focus on these cards and these names. And so the other two, the next one I got is just as the in the back it says farewell to arms, and just as the light bulb banishes darkness from a room, conflicts on every scale between people arguing about parking spaces or between nations arguing about the oil field is brought peace in the end through the light of his name. So again, this is speaking to the chaotic energies that we are now leaving, guys. We are leaving these chaotic energies. We're ascending to the 5D, and we are the light. We are the light workers. Those of you guys or us who are in a divine union, who are light workers, who are in your power, who are meant to create and manifest and really help the world ascend to the next paradigm of the 5, 6, and 7Ds. We need to focus on being the light and staying in that power and staying in that frequency, because right now I'm getting that the polarities are getting stronger as we're ascending and shedding the old. That darkness is getting darker, the light is getting, there's so much chaos, there's so much anguish. If you look at the markets right now, they are lagging indicators of the energies that are happening right now. I am in the markets. I'm a day trader. That is my full-time job, and I am very connected. They are an extension of myself. I'm connected to the energies of the world through the markets, and it's been exactly that. There's been a correction, and I've called that a month ago. I said that in this channel, I think, or in another channel, that we're shedding the old, and as we shed the old, the energies are getting more and more intense. With that being said, the final card that was drawn to pull was DNA of the Soul, is what it says in the back of the card. And the name of the meditation is Aleph Kaf Aleph. And with this name, I will receive nothing less than full impact of the forces of creation. I restore the meaning to my life that often feels meaningless, and purpose to a world that often appears aimless. Order returns, structures emerge, everything is cleaning up. So again, we are creators. We are supposed to be in our light work, especially those of you guys who are divine feminine. And I'm getting a lot of masculines came here as divine feminine so they can experience the power of creation. And so I'm getting that we are really, I'm getting that a lot of my feminine need to be told the magnitude of the power of your thought and your divine femininity and being in your power. It is so much bigger than just, it is so much bigger than ourselves. These unions are so much bigger than ourselves. And these divine unions, as we come to our higher selves and the higher divine feminine, the high priestess and the hierophant, to union, to unleash a new superpower, to elevate the collective consciousness of the world, we are going to change the paradigms. We are the leaders. We are the first one. That's why it is divine masculine and divine feminine, because there's varying degrees to everyone's journey, right? But very few twins actually get to meet their divine masculines and feminines. But as they are coming into that power, they are really manifesting the highest elevational source and force of the divine masculinity and divine femininity. As we come into self-union, we come to self-balance of the highest vibrational frequencies, the highest energetic resonance in the divine masculinity and divine femininity, one leading predominantly in the divine masculinity, one leading predominantly in divine femininity. So with that being said, guys, I think that is crystal clear. I don't know that I mean, there's a lot of energy right now that wants to come out. There's a lot, but the theme is very clear. Be in your power. There's clarity coming. We need to be clear within ourselves. That'll trigger more clarity within divine masculine. And we're really ascending here. And just hold on tight, stay in your positivity. Even the divine, in a lot of ways, doesn't necessarily know how this story or journey is going to end in a lot of ways, because it's almost like a big experiment. But every ascended master is here with us. We are all in this together. And so being in your power, being in your divination, being in your highest form of self is extraordinarily impactful now more than ever. So just be in the power, be in the presence. And as final thoughts and notes, I'm just going to hear the Epiphany card: joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Joy through spiritual growth. The Epiphany: be a light to others. And we're coming through meditation again, guys. The meditation cards: meditate on the highest form of self, and 6 of Ariel and 5 of Ariel. So you're not going through this current challenge alone. Help is nearby, and negative thoughts can create self-fulfilling prophecies. Again, going back to having positive thoughts. And you're not in this alone. We are a collective. We are divine feminines. We need to be in this state of mind. We need to be in the state of power. All of us need to be in this together for the highest vibrational resonance and the highest good of all. We all have a huge role in this, in our divine masculinity and femininity. We are working with the divine. We are working as a collective. We're not alone as a collective, and with the divine, moving into the higher vibrational things in the 5D and the 6 of Ariel. Material needs are getting fulfilled in magical, unexpected ways. Again, guys, same thing, same messages. I'm becoming redundant. This is the last card I'm going to pull, I feel like. This is the conclusion: acts of kindness, giving or receiving with grateful heart, having an open heart. Obviously, material needs are being fulfilled, guys. If that is not the card to end this reading with, I don't know what is. This couldn't be any more clear. A lot when it's come through, but it is manifesting. As above, so below. As within, so without. It is happening. It is coming. So with that being said, guys, too much was to come out, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't think I'm gonna be doing an extended here, but yeah, it's just at the bottom of the deck is just the all the way. We're about to have everything we ever wanted. And so with that being said, I don't think there's anything else that could make anything more clear, except for the fact at the bottom of the deck, here it is, the Emperor. Like I said, guys, the Emperor is working, the divine masculine is working towards becoming the Emperor. The Hierophant is still a little bit away, and then just the leap of faith. They're going through the leap of faith here. Again, so much wants to come out. I feel like if I keep going, it's going to be a 3-hour reading. But I think the divine masculine does need to reach out. They know to reach out. They're going to be reaching out for the collective that is resonating with this. But yeah, here's the confirmation of the Emperor here. The Emperor card: stability and efficiency, taking charge of the situation, ambitious plans. You're heading towards communication, ambitious plans towards union, towards the greater good of all, the greater good of self. It is coming. It is happening. They're taking a leap of faith. Was this penultimate card here? They're believing themselves into your heart, and they're doing what gives them joy. That is literally what it says here. That is what is happening. That couldn't be any more clear. If I wanted to, I cannot make this up, guys. You were watching me shuffle these. You were watching all this happen. So with that being said, guys, love and light. I will see you guys next time. If you found this helpful, please hit the subscribe button. I am starting to do private readings. So the email address is on the link below. For those of you that want to book a private reading, just reach out to me. And yeah, guys, love and light. I will see you guys next time, and have an amazing rest of your day. Be in your power, be in your journey, make good decisions, release yourself from that which holds you back. And if you need to detox unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence, it's time to let that go. And all right, guys, I need to stop, or else this is going to be, like I said, a 3-hour reading. So with that being said, guys, love and light, and I will see you guys next time.